We stopped in front of a stop sign at an intersection in the neighborhood. Suddenly, the Oldsmobile's doors open up, and out came 5 young girls, either late teens or early 20s. My roommate and I were a little stunned. We thought something wrong had happened. Then all the girls started running around the car laughing. They ran around for almost 5 minutes. It was bizarre. My roommate then shook his head and said the girls were trying to do a Chinese fire drill. Note for those who don't know, a Chinese fire drill is when you stop at a red light and get out and all the occupants run around the vehicle and trade places. You're supposed to do it quickly before the light turns green. Not exactly safe, but it's supposed to be fun. Anyway, the girls are in front of my vehicle, running around, laughing, and not getting back into the car. As I said before, they were out for about 5 minutes. It was annoying. Finally, they all got into the car and drive off. I'm still behind them. I'm a little worried they'll try it again, but I can't turn off and drive a different direction, so we come together to another stop sign. Roommate said he's sure they'll try it again and that they didn't do it right before. Also, he notes he wasn't sure if you're even supposed to do it at a stop sign. Well, they did it again. This time they get out and run around longer. One even ran to the other side of the street and back. This is the I'm stupid part. I was having a rough week, and this just annoyed me. Roommate notes the girls might have their car in neutral. What do? I slowly creep behind the car and gently bump it. Turns out it was in neutral, so I start pushing the car forward. The girls suddenly realize what's going on and start yelling at me. I ignore for another minute, but then reverse. The girls immediately get into their car and speed off. I felt pretty good that day. My roommate thought it was hilarious. Yeah, no, looking back on it, pushing a car into an intersection is horrible. I could have caused damage or much, much worse. I'm a lot wiser now, and I know that was insane. I've had this happen again in other places. I just try to turn down another street. Yeah, you definitely don't do a Chinese fire drill at a stop sign, and you're definitely supposed to just do like one cycle around and hop back in the car. I think these girls honestly just had nothing to do and were out to annoy OP and their friend. Our next story is my grandpa's final petty revenge beyond the grave. My grandparents had 5 children and 12 grandchildren. I am the oldest grandchild. All of their children settled down within 10 miles of their house. Growing up, we did everything as a whole family. My dad raised beef, cattle, and pork. My grandma had a garden that she would feed the entire family from. The women would get together at grandma's house and we would can all of the fruits, vegetables, and meat the family would need. Then she would distribute it out to each individual family. She would have my grandpa carry all of the canned goods she was keeping to their basement. My grandpa absolutely hated green beans. He would ask grandma not to can so many for them because he didn't want to eat them. But she didn't listen to him, but he dutifully carried them to the basement. My grandpa died in July 2000 and we just celebrated his 100th birthday. I still miss him. My grandma died in March 2011. When we were clearing out the basement, because a lot of us were storing stuff there, we kept finding random jars of green beans. Then we started finding crates of green beans under shelves. There were about 6 of us cleaning out the basement, and by the time we were done, we found about 2,000 jars of green beans. We had the jars stood up in the center of the big room, and we were just standing around looking at it, wondering why we found so many green beans. Then I started giggling. My aunt wanted to know what was so funny. I said, "Grandpa did this." She asked, "Why do you think that?" "Because he hated green beans, so he hid them so he wouldn't have to eat them," I giggled. That made everyone laugh. "What do we do with them now?" I asked. The jars were dated from 1982 to 2000, and it was 2011 at the time. Honestly, at that point, I would say like if you've got enough land somewhere, I would say dig a hole and just start dumping the jars out there. Deep enough or just dumped out in general in a place where hopefully wildlife won't get to them, where they can be harmed by spoiled food. And then depending on the jars, you can either resell them or if they're like aluminum cans or something, you could take them to a recycling center and either way, you've made some kind of money off it. If it's just like a classic canning mason jar, I don't know how you're going to resell 2,000 of them. But it certainly doesn't hurt to check out the Facebook Marketplace. Our next story is Be Nice to the Janitorial Staff. This happened in 1986. The locations and persons involved shall be nameless. I was working security and investigations for a large firm that had major clientele in the refinery business. They had a group of buildings within close proximity of each other, and this allowed the standard night security personnel to have easy access to all locations. While visiting one of the sites on a weekend, one of the guards commented that someone was complaining about a stench coming from the west side of the 4th floor and the next building earlier in the day. I decided to accompany them to that area to determine the source of the odor. As we exited the elevator, an awful smell permeated the air to the point of making us gag. Since it was after work hours, we used a master key to check a few of the offices. It was a hot July day, and we were certain we would find someone deceased in their office. Although I'd never been unlucky enough to smell a dead person up to this point, we searched a few of the offices to include the one where the smell was the strongest. Policy states that we were not to open cabinets or closets, so we left it at that and assumed someone had something rotten in their trash earlier in the day, and although the janitorial staff had removed it, the smell lingered. That following Monday, I received a call by the guard service to report to the subject building, as they had discovered the source of the noxious odor. As it turned out, the gentleman's office where the odor was the strongest had a giant turd in the desk drawer in the hot corner office. The heat from the sun shining through the window on the previous days had created such a noxious odor that it didn't have the smell of feces. Aside from this poor guy, his receptionist was a victim as well. She was so traumatized she was asked to take the remainder of the week off to recover. Poor lady. As the investigation was opened, we concluded that the two victims had a run-in with two janitorial staff members in the previous weeks, which resulted in the termination of two janitorial staff members. To get their revenge, they talked their former co-workers into letting them in the office so they could do their deed. Revenge was best served hot and stinky. A week later, the receptionist returned to her desk with flowers and well wishes waiting for her. She was quite happy. Of course, waiting for her were reports that had to be filled out and turned into the home office to account for her excusal and to assist in closing the investigation. As she thanked those that wished her a happy return, she sat at her desk and prepared for her daily routine. It was at this time she reached over and pressed the dispenser of her hand lotion to put lotion on her delicate hands. As she did this, a horrid stench flowed from the bottle, which was filled with rancid urine that had been sitting and fermenting in the bottle for well over a week and a half. The receptionist was so distraught over the experience that EMTs were called to attend to her. So traumatized was she, I don't believe she ever returned to her job after that. Revenge was served old and cold. I left the business shortly after that experience to seek out better opportunities. It was a crap job anyway, pun intended. Whether they're still working alongside you or on their way out, I think the last people you want to upset is the janitorial staff, because A, if they're still working alongside you, you don't want them to go subpar or do any kind of malicious revenge against you or the areas you work in. B, they're on their way out, they might feel like they have just about nothing left to lose. Our next story is, didn't like me before my glow up? Hope you enjoyed being turned down in front of your friends. When I was younger and first came out as a lesbian, I didn't have much luck with dating other women. In my early days of coming out, I met this girl at a gay bar. We hit it off instantly and I managed to get her number. After a few days of texting, I noticed her getting dramatically drier over text. Eventually, we stopped talking. I was pretty sad about this since she was one of the very few women I had any experience with at the time. One day, she randomly texted me late at night to meet her at a bar, and so I did. We had a fun night together and hopped around to a few places. The next morning, she didn't text or say anything, so neither did I. A few weeks passed and we didn't speak to each other. One night, I was at the bar where we met, and I saw her coming in with her friends. I walked over to her and waved, and she looked at me and walked right by like she didn't know me. I know she had seen me because her eyes glanced quickly in my direction. Later on in the night, she bumped into my friend and said hi to him. Turns out she did see me. She just didn't care to engage with me. Fast forward 6 years later, at this point, I was more confident, went through numerous phases of glow-ups over the years, and was in two pretty serious relationships. I lost a great deal of weight, my skin cleared up once I finished university, I learned how to do my makeup and what worked best for my hair. My fashion sense had also significantly improved. I eventually learned that the issue I was having with women was due to a lack of experience in the lesbian dating world. Regardless of that, I never forgot that moment. Nothing stings worse than having a fond memory of someone than realizing that it meant nothing to them. I've been with first-timers and I've never treated them like that. One day I was at a gay event with my friends and she was there as well. I was pretty surprised since I hadn't seen her in so long. I went to university in a different city. I didn't approach her, but I saw her looking at me from the corner of my eye. I noticed her friends looking in our direction as well. One of my friends told me she kept looking my way, but I avoided eye contact. I eventually walked towards the washroom and passed by her and her friends. She looked the same but a little more run down. She grabbed my shoulder and was like, "Hey OP, oh my god, it's been so long. How have you been?" I looked like a deer in headlights, mostly because I didn't think she would talk to me. I took a glance over at her friends who were also looking at me. I apologized and told her that I think she had me mistaken for someone else, and quickly walked away. I'll be honest, it didn't feel great at first. Then I remember how humiliated I felt back then, and all the regret left my body. I mean, the one nice thing about this is you know that they are completely fake. They're only talking to you because they're interested in you post-glow up. At least you have that knowledge of how they hurt you before, so they can't make the same mistake now. I saw somebody comment a great saying on this post: "The tree remembers what the axe forgets." This fake person probably had no recollection of how they hurt OP at all. Our next story is, she was my shoulder to cry on, but also going up with X. I made friends with the girl, we were both in our late 20s, who lived in the apartment above me. We'll call her Stacy. Stacy and I instantly clicked, became best friends over the year and a half. Most nights she was hanging out with me at my place, eating dinner together and just being great girlfriends. I was super excited about our friendship. I was such a loner in high school and very introverted afterwards. I never really had a super close friend. During our friendship, I started dating someone. We all became pretty good friends, including with a few of his friends. After about 6 months, me and the guy broke up. I was heartbroken. Over several months, Stacy was such an attentive friend. She would call or pop over to check on me daily. She would bring me ice cream or cocktails and just be there for me. I was so thankful to have her as my friend. A few months after the breakup, me and the guy kinda started communicating again. Not a lot, but enough to give me hope. Whenever he called, I instantly would tell her, so giddy about it. Then he would disappear for a bit. A lot of back and forth like that. One day, all of my friends, including her, were busy. When I pushed, another mutual friend of ours admitted that they all made plans for Sunday Fun Day, but I was purposely excluded because my ex was going to be there. Since it was his friends that planned it, I tried my best to understand, but was hurt Stacy didn't tell me, or would agree to go without me. The next day, I chatted with a mutual friend, opening up at how my feelings were hurt that I was excluded. She eventually broke down and told me that Stacy and my ex were seeing each other. It was her idea to do a group outing without me. I can't describe the amount of sadness I felt. Turns out, whenever I was crying on her shoulder, she would use whatever I would tell her about my ex to manipulate him. That's why whenever we had a good talk, I didn't hear from him again. She totally you-know-what blocked us from reconciling, which, in hindsight, was a gift. Now, to the petty revenge part. Stacy didn't have a washer and dryer in her apartment. She had to use the community laundry room that was in the same hall as my apartment. One day when I was walking my dog, I saw her leaving the laundry room and head back upstairs to her place. I checked the laundry room, noticed there were 2 dryers going that just started. I ran into my place and grabbed the brightest red lipstick I could find and several black eyeliner pencils. The 2 loads were whites and lights. I threw the red lipstick into one, the black eyeliner into the other. It felt so good when I left that laundry room. After that, I noticed she would stay in the laundry room and read a book the whole time whenever she did her laundry. It always gave me a smile. I just wonder if they suspect OP was the one who did that, or if they just felt like this was some random person just out to make their day worse. Like, I kind of wonder about the fallout OP and their ex-friend Stacy had, and if that would make Stacy believe, oh, OP definitely did this. Our next story is Peanut Butter Thief. So I used to work some pretty crazy hours trying to balance work, home, and school, city college classes, so I'd constantly need to have snacks on hand and the occasional peanut butter and jelly available. I purchased a loaf of bread every week and stored my peanut butter jar on the top of the fridge and a jar of jam inside the community refrigerator at a machine shop that ran.
Listen up, because if you're single and you live in the US and you're making less than $75,000 per year,
my abdomen is feeling severe pressure and pain, and they won't let me urinate.
10 more minutes, sit down.
I'm going to urinate myself, and they won't allow me to do so in an appropriate container.
Every responsible adult knows their actions should never affect anyone else negatively.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What can I tell you that doesn't make sense?
Have you had anything?
No, I have not.
You've had no drinks tonight?
No, I have not.
Okay.
However, there are those who do not bat an eye if they are the reason behind someone's peril, especially when alcohol is thrown in the mix.
I'm crying. I haven't done coke in like 3 years, and I literally got sober for this baby. He changed my life.
From someone driving recklessly to someone putting their own child in danger, here are some incidents when intoxicated woman flirts with cops.
Do you understand each of these rights that I have explained to you?
You know, when they're whispering in their ears, I would love to have that repeated, because
The incident revolved around a 28-year-old woman. On May 19, 2022, in Key West, officers were dispatched to the scene of a hit-and-run accident. The officers rushed to the location to investigate the situation. Suspects often do not take the police process seriously, ignoring its importance. However, in order to comply with the law enforcement must make sure the suspects are aware of their situation.
Okay. Oh, you have your ID on you?
yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and get that for me.
It might take me a moment.
Yeah, of course.
Have it.
I'll give you some light.
Thank you. Alright. You need my driver.
Go ahead and step out and close the door for me,
Is
okay?
there anything else you need?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything else you need?
No, I don't. Just step out, close the door, and
And I understand that's not an excuse.
so you're coming back from work?
Acceptable.
Are you coming back from work?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you work out?
I work at.
Okay.
I found my cat on the road this morning. I went to work. I tried really hard and I came home.
I got you.
I'm so sorry. Tell me what to do.
Say that again.
Tell me what to do.
I got you. Just chill out for me for a little bit right now, okay?
Can I ask what's going on?
Well, I mean, you were in an accident, so when you get into an accident and you take off, it's illegal to do that, so you should
I
have
was in
stayed.
an accident.
Yeah, you don't remember being in an accident?
I'm afraid I don't.
Okay, no problem.
I don't know. A cop is shining a flashlight on me. If I know, apparently, I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did. I don't know. It's their right. They can search the car, they can search the property. It's up to them. They're doing their job. It's their job. I don't know what happened, but they were here when I got home. They wanted to
Go
check
ahead, just
it
step out the
out.
vehicle for me, please. You
have-
can step out for me, okay?
Alright, now they're asking me to step out.
I mean, you can stay on the phone. I just don't want you to sit down in the car.
Because I'm arguing with you.
No, it's not because of that. You can close the door if you want.
I need to let you go and I need to talk to them because apparently being on the phone with you is making it worse.
No, I said you can stay on it, but I just want you to stay out the car.
Hey, baby, I love you. I love you so much, but I gotta hang up on you. I'm so
Go ahead and close the door for me, please. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Here, where's your phone number?
I'm just gonna lean against the fence.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Here, officer, I was asking you a question.
What's your phone number?
Do you want to pick up your phone so it's not on the floor?
I don't want to cross any boundaries.
There's no boundaries. You could do that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions if you wish.
I saw that.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements.
Pay attention to what he's saying.
Are you listening, Arian?
To repeat himself. Be nice.
Are you listening?
Don't be disrespectful.
Okay. Do you understand each of these rights that I have explained to you?
You know, when they're whispering in their ears, I would love to have that repeated because.
Okay,
that was
so do me a favor,
really
just stop leaning on the fence from me and just stand up straight for me, okay, while I read it so I can make sure you're listening,
All right.
okay?
If they're
You have the right-
whispering behind your back.
Okay, don't worry about them, just listen to me, okay, Miss? Please, thank you. If you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights and have explained to you?
Yes.
Have you asked any law enforcement officer to speak to an attorney?
No.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm gonna read it to you. It's either yes or no, okay? So
Alright,
having these
you
rights
can
in mind,
Say it again, but what do you think I should do?
I can't give you that answer. It's whether you wish to talk to us or not. So I'm gonna read the question for you
So
again.
you're gonna repeat what you just said and
Do-
expect me to interpret
Having these
that?
rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I need a lawyer. I need a significant person here with me.
Right. So it's just a yes or no. It's whether you want to talk to us now or you don't.
know.
Okay,
I
so I'm gonna
do
take that.
not know.
I'm gonna take that as a no, or is it a yes or no?
I do not know.
Okay.
You don't have to go through it.
Okay. All right, then no problem. Do me a favor, step out here in the middle of the street for me, okay?
I would love to call my father. I would love to call.
You're good. You're good right there. I just want to speak to you. Okay.
I don't know what to do. I'm
You're fine.
28 years
No, you stand
old.
still for me. Stay still.
I've always had my dad.
Okay, stay still.
I don't know.
All right.
what to
So,
do.
will you submit to field sobriety exercises
I would
to dispel
rather
my belief that
not.
you are under the influence of alcohol, beverages,
I
or
would
chemical or
rather
control?
not.
Just let me
I'm
finish
at
this sentence,
home.
okay?
Stop talking.
Please.
Stop being disrespectful. He's talking to you, and then you can ask him whatever you want. Okay?
But
Is
I
that
was-
clear?
I was at.
Miss, I'm gonna do this one more time.
I was at home
Okay.
and I-
You weren't, in fact, deciding.
You weren't. Miss, one more time. Look at me, please. Hey, how's it going? Listen to me, okay?
It's not going
Will you submit to field sobriety exercises to dispel my belief that you were under the influence of alcoholic beverages or chemical or controlled substances to the extent that your normal faculties are impaired?
I would rather not.
Okay, so refusal to complete these exercises can be used against you in any future court hearing. Do you understand that?
What do I do, you guys?
That's not what he's asking. We're not gonna drag this all night.
What do I do?
We are not.
Yeah.
You want to repeat
I
that
don't
again
know
for
what to
one-
do.
I'm gonna read it one more time for you, Miss. Okay? Listen to me. I don't know why you keep.
You're telling me I'm refusing and I'm asking for help,
I'm gonna ask you one more time.
and now they're
Okay?
walking away.
Will you submit? Listen to me. I'm the one speaking to you, Miss. Listen to me, okay?
What do
Will
I
you
do?
submit to field sobriety exercises
If
to
I
dispel
do
my
that,
belief
will
that you are
that-
under the influence of alcoholic beverages or chemical or controlled substances to the extent that your normal faculties are impaired?
So I can either accept it
It's a yes or no.
or not accept it. What happens if I accept it or I do not accept it?
We will do the exercises. If you don't, then I'm going to read this again. Refusal to complete these exercises can be used against you in any future court hearing.
I'm not your enemy.
It's a yes or no, Miss.
Tell me the right thing to
What you looking at, babe?
Cars on cars.com.
What's wrong with this one?
I just got promoted, so I'm looking for something more. Ciao.
Ciao.
2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Cars.com. Where to next?
Money makes the world go round, and round, and round and round. What if we could make the world go forward? What if we could do for finance what the internet did for information?
Suspects repeatedly engage in peculiar conversations with the police to make sure they are given leniency. However, the officers will conduct their inquiries as usual, ensuring everyone is given a fair chance at proving their innocence. Did something similar happen here?
Again, we have female deputies. We do not need to be in that bathroom with you, okay? Do you understand that? So stop being nasty.
I have to urinate.
You were being okay not too long ago, making fun of the whole
I am
speech that I was telling
okay.
you.
However,
so you thought it was funny, so I'm sure that you can hold it.
I do not think it's funny. I need to urinate. I have no desire to let you or him watch me.
Nobody's trying to watch you. What part of that?
So can I urinate legally? Can I urinate legally? Or is that a problem?
You're 20 years old. If you want to do that, go ahead.
I am 28 years old, and I would love to urinate because I really need to.
Okay, I'm sure they will have.
Can I please urinate, or is that unacceptable? Because I really need to pee, and I would really love to pee. And that's all I ask. There's pressure on my stomach. All I want to do is
Might be
pee.
easier than this.
I'm not spiting you. I'm not making your job inconvenient. Literally, let me pee, and I'll shut up for the rest of the day. And that's too much to ask. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect anyone. I just need to use the restroom. And if that's too much to ask, then I apologize.
We'll let you know after 20 minutes, okay?
1, 2, 3, 41. 1, 2, 3, 42. 1, 2, 3, 44. 43, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or will we stare at our wrists and our phones and our desks? Should I piss right here on the floor? Or can we be decent gentlemen and let me use the restroom? Are you guys serious? I'm 28 years old. I am a woman. I need to urinate. I need to use the restroom. Please allow me to use the restroom. You're going to ignore me. You're breaking basic human rights. Hello? Hello? I have to pee. Hello, human that's sitting 2 feet away from me. Are you guys really that shitty of people?
We're not here. The fact that you
Please let me
stop
pee.
talking. I'm letting you know why.
Please let
stop
me
talking.
pee.
Do you want me to explain why?
Can
Do
I
you want me to explain why?
I really...
Because you were insinuating that us or the deputies want to see you when you use the bathroom. We do not want to see that. So I can see the kind of person you are, so you are not going to go right now. Until we get done with you, you will go to the bathroom. So nobody needs to see any of this. Do you understand? Do you understand now?
Please
I'm done
allow
with you.
me to use the restroom. I need to urinate.
No, I'm not putting myself or any deputy here in a position where you think that we want to see you, so nobody's going to see you.
So why
Don't
have
you
I not
understand
been
that?
allowed to use the restroom?
When we are done, you will. Okay?
How long does that take?
I don't know, maybe 10
I need
minutes.
to urinate right now. I needed to urinate 20 minutes ago. My abdomen is feeling severe pressure and pain. I'm an emergency first responder. Please allow me to use the restroom. This is basic human abuse. If a human needs to use the restroom, you allow them to urinate. If you refuse that, You're refusing a basic human right.
Since you know everything, you know what, deal with it when you
Please allow me to use the
I already
restroom.
explained to you why you are not using the bathroom right now.
I really...
Because you think that we, or the deputies, wants to see you and...
I don't give a f*** who wants to see me.
No, we don't want to see any of that.
Sir,
So stop it.
I want to urinate in a container. I do not want to urinate in this chair.
Okay.
I do not want to urinate on the floor.
Okay.
I am experiencing severe pain and pressure.
You put yourself in that
I
position.
need to urinate.
You put yourself in that
I need
position.
to
You did it
urinate.
yourself, and I'm done.